that you're actually competing in, the better, right?
All right.
Where will they
Two
go?
maps.
As you said, Clubhouse auto banned, Bank as well.
Yep. Of course, Bank was played between
no border repeat.
EG and Unite.
No Clubhouse repeat. So we'll get something new. We'll get Kafe.
Dostoyevsky.
Now this is one that EG struggled a bit on last time. I believe they lost it to Dark Zero, if I recall correctly. It was not a great. That was the best performance from Dark Zero too. So
they absolutely destroyed EG. It was 7-2. EG was only able to get 2 rounds on defense. Reminder: this is with Gotcha on the team.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, his streak of being unbeatable.
Well, let's be fair. Gotcha isn't necessarily the problem or anything like that. He wasn't necessarily always finding his fit, but I think he was playing decent as a player. But at the end of the day, they need to find out what they need as a team, what they're missing, and hopefully Spades is it. Because I think we all agree that we want to see EG doing well again, because it is really sad to see them struggling as much as they are, because we know the team has potential. We know it's still full of players that are great. Most of the players are still there. We only had Geo and Canadian leave. They should be able to do it, but something just wasn't right.
Exactly.
And they're working on it now. So
this is the season to do it, right? You have no relegations in NA and EU, and you just prepare yourself and make sure that you're ready for whatever.
This should be their best shot, though, because this is against the only team that is below them at the moment. But that also means this is Tempo Storm's best shot as well, because the team just won above them. So in theory, both these teams are, at their closest, they're going to get to each other.
If Tempo Storm win, which right now most people predict that they will not.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, when you only have 1 point in your 7th play day.
I get it. The tops you can get are those 3 points, and if you beat EG, you crush the tiebreak between you and them, and it means the Tempo Storm go up 1 position in the standings.
For now.
Yeah, for now. It's not great,
with
but
no relegations at least, it doesn't matter as much where you sit on the bottom. But it's certainly, like, for a team, for an org, for players, it still matters. I just mean it won't matter in terms of, like, you're gone now.
Yeah.
So
unfortunate, but still, this is where you got to start somewhere. Yeah. You can't just give up. This is not something that any pro will ever do, no matter what level. In CL, sometimes we might see retirements, and every now and then someone retires in Pro League, but it's such a rare thing that people actually completely disappear, and it just takes so long.
Yeah. Even people that are like, I'm going to go be a coach, like BC, still end up coming back to play for a while. You get the itch, man. You can't scratch it enough.
So I get it. No one is going to give up. None of these teams, even if they're at the bottom in any region, in Challenger or in Pro League or in national events, no one wants to give up.
I just hope Spades on the team reinvigorates Necrox and Young.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we've seen them in a slump that I hate to see, because those are such good players.
It's so weird to say. Yeah. Both players are so good, and Necrox specifically, every time I love applauding the player because he does so much work to the team.
But it just seems like lately it's not really been there, and it's some kind of spark is missing. Something was off, and like I said, hopefully this is going to be it today.
EG not gelling together.
But off the EG topic though, Tempo Storm as well. We need to see it. We need to see it happen here. We need to see all the players step. We're seeing individual plays from some individual, good players, but we're not seeing the team as a whole really show a lot of strength. They can come close sometimes, but they're really, 1 point is really not good. They need to find what their groove is and get it back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to head into our 3rd map of the evening. It's Kafe Dostoyevsky between Evil Geniuses and Tempo Storm.
At least Tempo haven't shown this map yet, and they've seen EG on it, so they have that going for them. We'll see what Tempo are going to ban, though. Could be a Thatcher ban. We do see that occasionally on Kafe, as much as I hate to see it. It just means Kaed's played a bit more and so on and so forth. But what will it be first? Tempo Storm taking some time to decide. These are usually pre-planned to some extent, but there's that Thatcher ban. I always hate to see it. Thatcher's such a nice guy. You hate to see him go. What a Nimrod. What will it be next for EG, though? This is going to be the more strategic ban, I think, in terms of either trying to negate something on Tempo Storm or trying to set up for a particular strategy. But no, it's just going to be Capitao ban, which is a bit more general, just because Capitao is so strong. But it is likely there are certain positions they want to be able to play and things like that. NBK, unfortunately, dropping at the moment. Hopefully we'll be able to get him back. If not, we'll just probably have to rehost real quick. So Spades is calling for them to ban slow, try and give time for NBK to come back.
And stay low.
Because if it's a game crash, you just need to restart it, get back in quickly. Goyo, a rare ban. The EG's, again, trying to be strategic, but Goyo can be very strong, especially in pixel spot, things like that. On this particular map, So that makes sense. You don't want to have to deal with the overabundance of shields. And with no Capitao to help you burn people on the other side of those shields out, you want some other way to deal with it and just ban him altogether. There's still maybe some shields in play, but usually going to be less so with Goyo gone. They're going to try and slow down for this last ban. There's Echo, who was another one who might have been bringing shields at some point. It's now just pretty much smoke left in terms of who generally brings shields. But will NVK get back in time? It's not looking like it yet, so we are likely going to have to go for a rehost if he can't get back here in time. So we'll just give it a moment.
Yeah.
Give him those last few seconds. He's going to be scrambling to get back in, but at least we'll get a preview of where they're going to be playing, and Bar is no surprise, as well as a little bit of preview of what the lineups may be.
Yeah, we're not sure if this officially counts as everything because the rehost was called before.
Yeah, it may be possible that they don't have to stick to those.
Because usually
It's up to the admins.
you go with the ban phase and then you rehost instantly.
Yeah.
So I personally don't know if this counts or not. Again, as
Luckily, he's gotten back in, and he may be back in time. So we'll wait a second here. He's going to try and get his operator picks, and he did get them in just before the end of the round, or the round starts. So we're giving it a second, but I think we may be good.
yeah, we're just gonna go in. Okay,
All right.
so it was effectively what they wanted to pick anyways.
Yeah, we for those of you who missed it as well, there was a 6 pick for NVK. He was Twitch and the 6 picked over to Buck.
Yeah.
Not that it matters a whole huge amount, but I just thought I'd let you guys know since you didn't get to see that.
Yeah. So here we are, and we start off on the reading.
So yeah, they switched from bar to reading. There's a change there.
Not surprising, to be honest. I mean, reading is still a very strong
You
position.
still have to defend bar for the most part, in terms of heaven at least, which
Exactly.
is the east side balcony, the cocktail
Cocktail
balcony. Yeah, cocktail.
So between the cocktail bar and the balcony next to it, it's such a great position to hold on to. It just makes reading so difficult to enter
Yeah.
if you're an attacker. You just hold on to white stairs and white hallway. You don't even have to be present in the hallway itself. You just sit around the corner from it, close to the cocktail bar.
Even when you
Otherwise-
take it though, you need to hold it as well because it can also be useful for retakes.
Exactly.
Defenders?
You rotate back because you can just play against anybody top down, right?
Yeah.
If somebody on the attack wants to come in and walk up the stairs, which I know
that's
it's
the thing
weird
is-
to say, but it happens.
As an attacker though, then you can't also hold that solo because you gotta watch your back on white stairs. You can't be
Exactly.
staring down. So
So it's a really strong position. Holding on to any of the stairs is powerful, but holding on to red is way more difficult because you have the hatch that's right above you, whereas with white, you're kind of safe. Nope, there's EG. There's a G36 for the Ash of Mo, and he's going to scout around. And again, we're talking about white stairs. There's the
and as far as spades, he's going to be starting the IQ, and I imagine playing a little more passive at first, just providing intel on the gadgets and things like that. Probably will not get as aggressive early on, unless they really needed him for that role.
With the EG, they're really scouting things out. You saw the drone. They were confirming downstairs. You saw the usual barbed wire that's set on white stairs from the garage.
And
It's just very normal to have.
yeah,
It gives you information in case somebody comes through there. Necrox is going to walk into piano. He can scan in if he'd like. You have the hard breach of the Habana if you want to use that. But you're going to need at least 2 of those X-Skyros to walk into reading if you're going to go for a pillar stake, which is something we see happen quite a bit when the attackers are bringing their utility correctly. Their hard breach. One Nitro Cell will sail up and will not hit anyone as creators will find NVK and Crazy with another one on the young with help from
playing
Butters.
it from below that's surprising to make that work because you should be at a disadvantage. So really well played on their part.
With a minute left. Yeah.
That's the hard breacher down as well.
Huh. So, Tempo Storm dropped down onto reading. They weren't really putting too much pressure here on the top floor.
And that's the thing, they were like ready to evacuate and just fight from below. Ping's at least coming out for Necrox. He's got to turn that into something. He's rotating for it. Just the timing isn't. Oh, it is there. Filthy goes down. That's the Mozzie off the board. His Pest's probably still up though. Still, that's only one. And Creatures, otherwise known as Creators to Kicks, is going to be at low health. But otherwise, they're looking pretty good. Diffuser at least picked up now as they've tried to recover Heaven best they can. Smoke is delaying the rotates a little bit, and Butter actually taking advantage of that.
Great positioning for
Midair.
Butters. There's no drones to give
dunk.
you information. Necrox will take a bit of damage here, but he still finds the second kill. 3v2 smokes will come out, and they line up. Dream will find 1 kill. Reloading there, but he had more than enough ammo to dispatch Mo. And that's EG out. Tempo Storm with a very successful round number 1. Seemed like EG kind of were running in blind there at the end.
I'm sure Dream also looking forward to that buff to the Scorpion.
Yeah, it'll give it like a bit of a better recoil pattern, right?
Yeah, that's obviously the goal is to try and make it a little more controllable, so it's not just spraying everywhere wildly. But didn't matter, as you said, they lined up for him. Didn't really have to control the spray too much. So great start, and we go from reading to mining dining. That is an unusual site rotation setup to especially start things off with on Kafe. So being a team that hadn't shown their Kafe yet, they're really showing an interesting Kafe. Necrox, though, did do quite well that round despite them losing. He did make good use of the Jackal tracking, got a couple of kills. So that was a good start for him. The rest of the team, though, seeming to struggle a bit with some of those. Just early plays on, especially into Heaven, taking control of Cocktails early as they did, and then losing 2 players on it. Really unexpected. We'll see if Mining Dying is as well defended upstairs. This could be a trickier one, though, because Christmas, you know, is going to get taken even potentially easier than Heaven, Cocktail. So you're likely to lose above. EG actually banning this map quite a bit more than Tempo, but you have to keep in mind EG been involved in more events and other things for that to count as part of than Tempo have. So that will also factor in that, as that is not just Pro League bans. Obviously, they can't have banned it 14 times in 6 play days. So we will see the mirror plate for not being banned. It is very useful over here on the Cocktail side, especially. Also missed a drone. Dream didn't see behind him on top of one of those Cocktail bars. So that will be providing intel on the setup that Dream is setting up. These are conventional, though. You're especially going to see that one on Freezer. It's very useful. Is your back is mostly covered to the window, and that they're usually not going to have an angle where they could pop that window from the window just behind him on the east side rappel. So very likely to stay secure. Also, if you hang out on the east side rappel, you're very likely to get jumped out on from either the reading door or from the white window. So, see Necrox with a little bit of pre-fire, hope to catch someone. They're going to open things quickly, try and take Christmas as fast as they can to give themselves some time to maneuver and pressure down from below. With the, oh, really, they're going to have 2 bucks because Necrox is going to be bringing the ITA as well.
Just drop from Mo and the rest of the team. They waste no time entering into Cigar. EG have tracks. And this is the second round where they're starting off with decent tracks, and you can potentially find Necrox here with a kill. Mo is thinking, should I go for that kill? Should I be using some of my utility for it? Because you're afraid of a Nitro Assault with Piano. Butters, though, will find NVK, and that's a bit of a big loss there on that Buck. Spades firing through his finally. He'll find Butters. He's taken a lot of damage. Mira window has been popped, so this position was pretty much forfeit inside a Cocktail. ADS is going to catch off one of those Gashmots. Filthy has set up actually a pretty interesting rotation hole in reading. Not usually something that you would see, as it's often just left soft, if anything. But there's goo mines everywhere, so you definitely are trying to bait your opponents into comfortable what they would believe to be comfortable positions. There's a lot of utility, there's decent map control, and there's a decent chunk of time for EG to work with. They check brown stairs, nobody going up there. Recharge is used by the Zofia as Young. They use the exothermic charge to open up the hatch here, looking down into trains. Necrox looking for some more footprints to scan. As we'll remind you, this is a take into mining. Something we don't usually see nowadays just because you have reading, but it's still a very significant sight, especially with the way that defenders are playing nowadays, with a lot of control on that top floor, and Creators is watching the window. He's expecting somebody to come in, and timing is unfortunate for Necrox. He's going to be lost. Spade's taking a lot of damage in the meantime, and Creators turning around the corner. He has so much ammo with Maestro that he can finish off some more. There's the UMP rattling off as Crazy will get one. Young is last alive on the Thermite, turns the corner, but Creators is ready and awaiting Tempo Storm with another round. EG, they look lost.
I'm starting to wonder how their droning is, because they're really just walking into players like Creators, just not really seeing it coming, and it's really causing a problem for them here. They're really not. We're not seeing a lot of team cohesion in terms of pinches and pushes and actually anticipating where players are and having advantage play over them. They're really kind of walking into them, stumbling into them rather, and it's really not looking good for EG, especially for a team that's bringing a Jackal to be walking in so blind to so many of these. Maybe their droning's just not on point, or it could just be communication. And of course, when you bring a new player on, you do have to struggle with communication. Pengu, again, was talking a bit about how they had to focus on like whether or not they were going to be able to get the right communication with Sir Boss, for example. Now, how that factors in, you need to make sure your call-outs line up. You need to make sure your communication style lines up. You need to make sure that they're not taking over comms and cluttering things out, stuff like that. You also don't want players that are too quiet. We see sometimes players with, so that is something that EG struggles with, for example, is some of these players on this team can be too quiet, and that can really hurt them.
Yeah, and some teams have that where players are very emotional, and when everything's going well, everybody's talking and everything's going well, but when they get tired or their team is really losing throughout the game, be it a best of 1, best of 3, or whatever it is, they will start to drop off when it comes to those comms.
Yeah.
Or,
you don't want people to clam up. That's the worst.
Sometimes you get frustrated, and I get it. It's a very human emotion. That's completely fine, but this is something you have to work on with your team, and it takes a lot of time, which is why we're so hesitant to judge players too early. Because you would say the same to any newcomer, basically, to any team. No matter how experienced they are, you can't just judge them the moment that they set foot in the building.
This is impressive, though, for Tempo Storm to start on 2 off-sites and then go to another off-site. Rather than playing bar, they're playing everything but bar, literally. So I assume they'll go to bar next, possibly. But at the same time, like the fact that they played everything else and played it well is impressive. If they can win kitchen here as well, that'll be the play. But so far, they've shown playing bottom up is actually working very well for them. They seem to be in control of stairs. They're able to fight through floors. Taking the top floor, I guess, gives them a disadvantage in that they can't play upwards. So EG, though, should be able to clear top floor without getting killed in theory. They at least have a track on the Mozzie again. Filthy was killed by that last time that Necrox was able to get a kill. See if that will repeat itself, but very likely he's not going to get punished before the Jackal track wears off. And there's only one track left in the Inox. In the meantime, Filthy actually is going to be killed, but it's my Mo Digga instead who was just aggressing while Necrox was doing the droning for him. And Butters, though, finding a frag back onto NVK and then traded again by Necrox onto Butters. So, advantage finally for EG here. They have some map control. They have a one-man advantage. They managed to kill 2 players at Tempo Storm. NVK, while being one of the top fraggers dead, is not great. He wasn't also top fragging at the moment anyway, so maybe that won't be a big deal.
There's Mo checking down right stairs. Is Crazy around the corner, and he wins the gunfight.
Again.
Oh no! Aguman being fouled. Crazy's going to be able to run away into coat check. Oh, this is huge. Creators is looking to heal up his teammate, and he will be able to do that. There you go. There's no push into him, and they're going to be safe for the second one. No pressure.
Oh, no, that is not what you need to happen if you're EG right now.
Unfortunate, but are they going to die for it? Yeah. I expect that. There's soft walls, though, and you have to deal with Dream.
Yeah.
He can turn around at any moment and slap you all down. Still with a Nitro Cell. There's a Legion in there. There might not be any goo mines down below you, but he's going to be looking.
There's the smokes going out, though. But he's actually not going to push off of it.
Nitro Cell comes out, and unfortunately, Dream a bit too early and premature there. Now, this is the drop time.
There it is.
Meantime, Necrox coming around the corner to Brown Stairs. He gets 1 kill, but Crazy with 1, not the second. That's space for it. Creators checking the corner, but Necrox finds yet another. Oh my, Necrox has just been hitting off so far this game, and he's doing work.
This is definitely the best Jackal play we've seen from him so far.
I mean, have we really been seeing too much Jackal play?
He's tried to play a lot of Jackal. Overall, last season, I mean, Jackal play has definitely died down. Necrox is definitely one of the more consistent Jackal players, but it's definitely working a lot better. We saw it lead to kills on Filthy twice now. He also was fragging out that round, and I mean, I wouldn't expect him to be top fragging for the team, but he is at the moment. Not because I think he's a bad player, but because that's usually not his role on the team. Spades, though, going to be 6th picking. We'll see. Reading, they're not going to go to bar after all. They just really don't want to deal with how prepared teams are to take bar. Gridlock going to come out as the 6th pick.
Defenders, protect your bombs
from Spades. Going to be providing a bit more roam control. We saw how punishing stairs have been for them. We saw, for example, the Legion, as well as the Mozzie, not the Mozzie, but the Maestro, playing aggressively on red stairs. So I can understand the reason that you'd want to control the stairs a little bit better. We'll see a shield come out from Dream. He's going to be playing on Elegant to try and probably play a little bit of aggressive roam when he can. Filthy, though, needs to avoid the Jackal tracks. He's going to need to be a little more conscious of where he steps. Maybe he should play Kafe at this point just to avoid getting Jackal tracked so often. We're going to see Bulletproof Camera come out as well, secondary utility from Creators provide the extra intel. They're not playing that Maestro. They did play a bit of it earlier, but just not wanting to use it for the site. They're really reinforcing and setting up a lot here on bar, so I don't know if they'll ditch it as easily as they did the previous time, just because they've invested so much with the castle barricades and reinforcements. You don't want to give that up too easily if you invest so much in it, because it means you could invest in the rest. Let's see if Spades is able to do a bit more here on Gridlock. At least he was able to find 1 kill earlier.
I mean, personally, I like this. I like this a lot. I mean, Gridlock is such a powerful operator.
This is probably Gridlock's most popular map as well.
And it is. It makes so much sense, right? Because you have 2 staircases to walk, technically 3. So between red, brown, and white,
You've got 1 for each.
yeah, you're good to go. You can shut down all of those stairs. You can use the tracks double up on a certain position if you want to also lock down a hallway if you want, around a corner. You've got possibilities, and this is what you're looking for. What an operator brings to the table, the more they do, the more the potential they have to really have an impact on the round. Now, EG know that they're going to have to deal with Cocktail, and so far, Tempo take a bit of damage through it. They can fall off whenever they want. In the first round, when EG were trying to push into here, Tempo fell off and were able to get 2 kills pretty much for free. So that was definitely not the play.
The timing, Necrox, the footprints wearing off just as he's trying to get those.
And there it is.
All right, that's Castle Track. He knows there's possibly more over there. A lot of gunshots ringing down, but the stairs now being evacuated by Temple Storm, but pushed back from Filthy, who comes around behind the Jackal.
Oh no!
Now his nemesis is dead.
That's a big problem there.
Track this.
He's still coming around the corner. The drone will spot him, but can he get the kill? No. NVK dropped down to half HP. Decent chunk of work there.
Not bad. He gets 1 kill and half damage onto Dreams, and Necrox has been doing the most fragging, so that's really the most important kill, especially since Filthy had been mostly ineffective in rounds by getting killed early.
Just looking at a number, things from a numbers perspective.
There's Brown.
Completely true. There's Brown Stairs being locked down by the tracks. I know for some people that might not know the call-up, but yeah, it is Brown Stairs. Butters will find NVK from below. Again, all of these open holes have been set up by the defense. And Mo might have just gotten a kill, but he's taken a lot of damage, finished off Butters, which is still a Jaeger. It's not the most important operator, and lost one of his drones, which means EG might be walking even more blind into the site right now. And that's been the biggest problem. Guzmot out. Young is watching, maybe for an entry into site right now. Throwing in his face is smoke.
Huge health advantage for Tempo Storm at the moment. As I say that, it turns into a man advantage as well.
Spades peeking through the hatches. Creator's going to walk on up. Just mosey on down, and they're going to have to walk in and plant. Dream is just going to keep on firing. He's got so many bullets in the magazine, and Dream keeps on firing for the last 2. Good control there on the Scorpion that even at this range can get a bit hectic to deal with. That's a decent chunk of work. And Tempo Storm, yet another round. A 4-1. 4 rounds on, excuse me, 3 rounds now on the defense. Pretty good. 4 in total. Yeah, round 5. It happens. You confuse numbers.
I mean, so far, Tempo Storm been looking pretty good on this defense. Like I said, they didn't show this map before, and I mean, they were definitely saving it up. EG are playing pretty decent, but it's just they cannot, Gridlock or not, control these defenders. Honestly, I'd pull a page out of Fabian's book at this point and just bring a Lion. Like, just bring Lion, bring Dokkaebi, and just go in guns blazing. And lock them down, call them, and just shut down, take map control as quick as possible.
I completely agree with that.
At this point, like, you've got enough gunners on the team who can gun, and you've got some support players who could back that up. Just lock them down and gun them.
So we're going to go to mining, and I really want to hammer your point. I think it's a distinction, because a lot of times we talk about dealing with quote-unquote roamers when it's a bit of a generic term to use, right? You can brand that and slap it on any operator really that's walking around the map. But if you're just talking about roaming, which means, at least in normal way, walking upstairs, going behind your opponents, flanking them, constantly getting picks off of them, in that case, getting a Jackal, a Gridlock, is a very good pick. Jackal would work very well. However, when you're talking about a Lurker that's really just standing in a specific position, look, I know you're laughing, Lurker, whatever, Milos is just talking about his own stuff. But honestly, that distinction is important to make, because in that case, the Dokkaebi deals with a Lurker way better than bringing the grid along, because they're not actually walking around
as well as
anything
to
like
the
that.
Jekyll, because if they're not walking around, they're not leaving footprints, and with the way they disappear now, like, it's definitely something that you really need to catch them walking around. In theory, Jekyll is actually one of the more effective operators to a lot of these players that are moving around right now, because they're being very, very mobile. The players down in sight that are just shooting upwards, however, a different story, but...
So really, if you see it from that perspective, it really all makes a lot of sense, let's be honest. Might be something that I would go for later, but right now, we're sticking to the Jackal. You see the castle barricade. There's a singular reinforcement here to cover from the window. That's basically why it's there, from the window and the stairs. Otherwise, you really want to leave things as soft as possible to contest for a retake.
See Necroc's waiting for the timing from his teammate as well and staying on that drone smartly. He's also listening for sound in the meantime to get some idea what's on the other side of the castle barricade before it gets opened.
Exactly. In a freezer, you'll find the Mira window, and one of them has already been popped inside the cocktail bar. Oh, that's a great shot there from Filthy. He walks back into reading right now, uncontested, undamaged. MVK just had no idea what was...
This middle floor, man, they've only lost on kitchen. The middle floor has just been their territory, man.
Look at what Tempo do. Like, you know what? You want to push us with 3 players? We can walk back. Unfortunately, Butters this time tried to go up red stairs, which is usually a bad idea.
Yeah, they've done that so much in the early rounds.
Yeah, you obviously will not expect a Habana sitting on the hatch at a minute-ish left on the round, but fair enough. It's a good shot from Young there. You clean up the Jaeger. That's one less gun to worry about. But Filthy gets another one on the Mo. He's just playing things from below. Yet again, all those holes that have been opened up by the defense.
This is what happens when you don't track that man down.
Oh, there's another run out.
He gets him again. That's the second time he's killed Necrox as well.
Oh, another one. Filthy with the
ace.
quad. What Dream?
Oh, Dream takes his dream away.
They're just dropping down into his line of sight, and I might have misspoke and said 4 rounds in the previous round, but I think it was more of a setup.
I almost think because of the early times they got the kill on Filthy, they almost underestimated him at that point.
I mean, honestly, look, it's the same problem every single time, isn't it?
Yeah, they can't control anything.
You go in and you take control of Cocktail. That's the first thing. It's a great step, right?
That's happening every time.
But you're not cutting off rotations because the hatches are open, and if there's somebody walking down white stairs, it's taking you a while to
Honestly,
come up.
I think calling it control of Cocktail is misleading because when you're getting shot through the feet, half the time you're not controlling anything.
I think you're just falling into the trap.
Yeah, you're walking on lava at that point.
There's so many holes that have been opened up by the defense Tempo Storm. Honestly, like, they have done a lot. I really have to take a moment to applaud Tempo Storm, and so should you sitting at home, because this is very impressive play.
This is definitely the best play we've seen from them. It's not just EG struggling. Tempo Storm's playing just this very dynamic, like,
honestly,
we're gonna control the map starting at the top, but always be able to rotate back down and fight from that direction. We'll fight back upstairs. We'll fight through the floor. And that ability to just retreat guns blazing is working out so well. And they will retake any part of the map they want. It seems like EG, without a solid flank wash, without solid map control, they're never really controlling anything. It's like their part in Jurassic Park where they say, control was the illusion.
There's no control here, and it really is. You have the illusion of control by bringing in the Jackal, and when he's not effective, you really think that, okay, yeah, we can lock him down, we can find him, but you find the player, but then you can't do anything against them. The buck play, I definitely agree with it right now. You're expecting the site to come out, as right now, Tempo Storm are going through the rotation like it's butter. Honestly, like, you don't even need to go up to bar at this point. They are so comfortable playing reading dining and playing mining dining.
It's just funny to see 6 rounds of defense without a single bar.
Yeah.
That has got to be either this is like the first time or one of the very, very rare times.
And honestly, I get it, because reading mining and mining dining still play in a very similar way. Again, it's not the same,
But it plays into what I was saying, how they've been playing it.
exactly.
It's that middle floor is just their stomping ground.
The preparation is
Oh,
definitely there.
Dream.
Oh, a big shot onto Young. The singular Heart Breacher is down, and I'd assume that the hatch dropping into this freezer is reinforced.
Honestly, I feel like every time EG think they could take a breath, it's their last.
Very unfortunate there, as Necrox is trying to turn it around the corner. A few bullets will be fired into him as the Jaeger will finally be identified, but will it be enough? They know exactly where he is because EG have predictably been doing the same thing every single round, but Spades finally going out of the tradition so far in this game. We'll take down one, and there's the kill from Mo on the Butters. Might be looking like an EGW.
It's because it's Kitchen again. The one site Tempo Storm seemed to slack on. It's unfortunate for EG they can't force them to Kitchen multiple times outside of the first one and this one.
And it's all because Tempo Storm do not want to play bar. And I'm really
Yeah, they might have been
I'm intrigued.
Bar.
I'm intrigued. If Tempo Storm end up winning, I really need to ask them, like, why no bar?
Yeah. Also ask them what they've changed because they seem to be playing like different beasts today.
More Go Mines are being set up for any eventual plays and drops into the set. Again, you have no heart breach, so your options are limited. Creators with a shot onto Spades, and that was Diffuser down outside, if I'm not mistaken.
And that's going to be one of the slowest runouts, too. He's a 1 speed, and he gets away with that. That is impressive. That evens up man count, and actually slight health advantage to Tempo Storm because Dream has more health than NBK right now. As I say that, also more health than NBK or Modiga, as they're both dead. Necrox can clutch this, but it's not going to be easy with 12 seconds and no diffuser.
Oh, he still gets 1 kill. Necrox taking no damage, but Goo Mines have been set everywhere by Crazy, and this should be an easy round here for Tempo Storm, just off of time. Diffuser's not even there. You're done. Tempo Storm at the half stand 5-1 against Evil Geniuses.
Wow.
Yeah, honestly, like, if I'm Tempo Storm right now, I am sitting and I am very proud of everything that I'm doing, and this really has to keep pulling. That's what
I mean. You can't sit safe anywhere. Like they come find you and kill you.
Honestly, I would be very proud of it. We were talking about like how comfortable you would be as players and how emotional some players can be, and in this case, if you're emotional, man, you are building up that hype right now.
Yeah.
Man, Ken's right now has to be watching the team as they're playing. Ken's, by the way, is Tempo's coach.
OG Ken's, because Ken's goes back to playing Xbox Pro League year 1.
So Ken's 100% has to be watching right now, and he's got to be so proud of the team and the changes they have gone through.
Makes me glad that people never really leave the scene. They just stick around.
They just stick around, that's for sure. Well,
first defense here for EG, and they're actually going to go Kitchen of all things. Everyone seeming like they just come out of an AA meeting and just trying to avoid the bar like crazy. No one wants to go there. Even when they play up there, they retreat almost instantly.
So Young will bring the Maestro in this round. There's a Nomad for the attackers. Tempo Storm lost 2 drones here in the prep phase. So
not great.
Yeah.
They are bringing the Nomad to control instead of the Gridlock. We'll see if that works out for them, but something different than EG we're bringing. EG bringing similar defensive operators, though.
I mean, this is actually something we didn't touch on. We completely forgot about Nomad as an operator.
It's not as popular on this map as Gridlock by far. It's just because Nomad controls a lot of things differently than Stairs. Like, Stairs are Gridlock's specialty, I feel like, or just specific doorways. Whereas Nomad is much better on the horizontal level control on doorways and or even the stairs. Red Stairs, there are some good spots for air jabs, things like that, but I feel like overall, if you air jab someone on the stairs, a lot of times you're not in a position to do anything about it. Whereas you air jab flank positions.
That is a good one.
And that's really good post execute, or post plant rather.
I always love hearing the music playing in here. It's very, I love classical music.
Looking more like a symphony from Tempo Storm so far.
That's a very soundly pleasing storm, to say the least. As Butter's going to walk on down the white stairs. There's a drone in front of him, of course, mirroring what Joystick was talking about. Drone first, then kill. And that's the way you do it.
Well, let's see if they get to the kill step.
Not only are there drones that are ahead of you, but there's also drones downstairs, just in case on different levels. There were some nitro cells being prepared for you. Overall, that's the strat to go for. Tempo Storm are also bringing a singular heart breacher. Unlike EG, though, they'll be bringing the thermite. So opening a hatch is still going to be fine to drop the freezer, but you have the opportunities right now. I don't know if there's a reinforcement still set for EG to use later on in the round, but they have an opening into bakery, a rotation hole, which is something that happens a lot
as well. Just to highlight it on the stairs, on white stairs. This angle we've seen used a lot very well. Butters almost capitalized. So there we go. Never mind, he does. Young again falling. A Maestro dying early is a really good start here.
Yeah, and Tempo Storm inch things closer with around a minute left. Dream has taken a bit of damage on brown stairs, but they're wasting no time. Tempo Storm walk in. All of those cameras have been destroyed. You know there's one guy by the Christmas tree around the corner. Dream is droning to make sure there's nobody around the corner for him. There's one more for Filthy. Yes, Dream gets one more on Spades, the newcomer, to EG. Smokes can be used, but it's already a set of grenades to be lobbed into Castle Barricade.
NVK gave his position away.
So close, and it gets shot by Butters. Mo is the last man alive. He tries to contest with the entry in the garage.
Flawless attack.
This is just EG dismantled. Tempo Storm scout things out so well. There was 2 drones in front of each opener. Honestly, this is what you crave seeing. Plants crave electrolytes. We crave this sort of great team play and drone. This is, I mean, for a team that was only able to get 1 point so far, they are playing immensely well, and Tempo Storm guarantee 1 point at the end of the day. Of course, it's not going to move them anywhere unless they win. If they win, then they push up.
I think within the next 5 rounds, unless something drastically changes here, I think we're seeing the bottom of the leaderboard move.
And for those watching here, and I really want to try and avoid this, like what happened with Cryan, for example. A lot of people saw how G2 performed, and they were blaming everything on Cryan, and sure, okay.
I think Spades is playing fine.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, Spades is definitely not a problem here from what we're seeing, especially as this is literally his first game. What is the issue is that cohesion, and it just seems like EG are off one player on their own in each position, specifically on that last round on defense.
Yeah. Also, some of the players that we expect to be fragging out, like NVK and Modiga, really are not. Like, not everyone's role is fragging, but it certainly is here for Modiga. He's at least picked up 3, but NVK's getting shut down a lot early, and that's really a problem, is you need NVK. I mean, ever since Canadian left, it seemed like NVK was on a tear in terms of fragging, and that seems gone today, absent. And Evil Geniuses were playing so differently on defense than what we saw from Tempo Storm. Tempo Storm was just aggressive. They never let up ever on EG, whereas EG just played passive that whole round. And what did it end up being? A flawless round for Tempo Storm. So I don't know if playing more aggressively is going to work better for them, but playing passively certainly didn't help them last round. That was actually the best round for Tempo Storm so far. Of course, it was their very first attack round, but Kitchen is going to be played for a second time here, and if they lose it here, well, they're never going to get a chance to play anywhere else. Now, Thermite being brought is helping them here. It's working out better for them, I think, than Habana would. Modiga finally at least trying to fight back a little bit on Butters. Not going to be a flawless round for this round for Tempo Storm. Could even be an EG round if they can keep that up. They are slowing things down a little bit. That is going to be 2 grenades off the board as well, some soft destruction. But Dream is in the meantime just here to push right into sight. They're in.
They're moving with a hell of a tempo right now as Creators will find 1 kill, and Dream is looking for the second. There it is. Crazy will find Necrox. This is all over the places. They just keep running in. Spades will find 1 kill as well as Mo, but Filthy is going to be forced off of his plant for just a second. 2 players left, and you can plant here in relative safety by that bomb chassis with the Ash covering. Dream, all he's got to do, there we go, 1 flashbang out, rotation from Evil Geniuses to try and catch off their opponents. Nitro Cell comes out and somehow hits, perfectly played as Dream is in the meat locker all on his own. Flashbang around the corner, and he's going to try to pick up Filthy in the meantime just to cover for that sound. ADS destroyed with 1 more stun grenade left. He's going to throw it around the corner just in case. Slowing things down, and Filthy will go for the plant. There's 1 kill for Dream. Bo has taken a lot of damage. Spades will find the kill. Onto Filthy, the pop-up from Spades. Beautiful 2K, the headshot required. Spades collects, I believe, at least a 3rd one in this round on the Valkyrie. That was a hell of a play there, knowing exactly where the Ash would be. Good prediction, good game sense. And finally, we see EG alive after Tempo Storm looked like they were about to walk away with this game.
That was definitely intense one. I tell you what, though, the jockeying for position between those last 2 players at Tempo Storm, they took Kitchen so fast. Slaughtered a good majority of the Evil Geniuses players, but once they got down to 2 men, problem is they had to plant. That's really why they lost the round, is that, well, they weren't going to go hunting, which they shouldn't. But if they had had one more man left alive, I think they would have been able to get in a much more comfortable position. Plant would have gone down. Post-plant, there's limited angles to cover, and I think Temple Storm could have won that. It was losing one more player.
And that was the play, allowing Mo, I believe it was Mo, to just let him roam on the Jaeger. Just let him do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
He got one kill. It ended up to be potentially the kill that won the round for the team. It was close. Tempo Storm got really close to it.
Yeah.
And it took a long time for EG to respond.
It was really just the stalling out. Whether it was them repositioning or the Thermite getting downed, just you know they could hear that plant going down around the corner. They were just waiting for the right time. Thermite wasn't going to be long for that world, especially on such low health.
Just wait for everybody to get in position. This is actually something that a lot of teams on retakes will make as a mistake. They will often just try to rush in and take gunfights immediately.
No.
Just leave it. You have the time.
Yeah.
Leave your rest of your teammates to get into a better position, and once they're in those positions, then you can work together.
Yeah, especially since you know that with a one-man covering can only cover one angle.
Exactly. So in that case, EG really played it well. They went for the long game, which is exactly what was needed. And it worked out nicely for them. They're able to survive for a bit more, but as you said, yeah, they need 5 rounds to tie it, and even then, it's only a tie.
Yeah.
Difficult.
Right now, it's we'll see how they do on reading, but it's still looking like I think Tempo Storm are going to take this pretty soon, just off the way they're playing. That was even a very close round, a very aggressive one, and they just seem still in control of these gunfights. The trades just didn't go as much in their favor that last round, and that was because they stormed into kitchen. And usually a lot of kitchen fighting happens from outside, so that was a very aggressive, different play here. Oh, this play here, gonna catch him just off. Oh, makes a little bit of damage, but still, Dream just makes it happen right there, and he's actually gonna take a short break while the smoke clears, just to reload.
That's a huge kill. One player off plus a nitro itself.
Yeah.
That's what you've been looking for.
Butter's just slightly off the timing, but he's going to find it here. Motiga next to fall, least traded. But man, it is looking good for Tempo Storm yet again.
Long angle for Young to find Butters, and unfortunately the Overwatch support from creators, I believe, was just not quick enough to help out against that Ella of Young. Again, a player that actually played Ella relatively actively, I guess, in the past couple of years. Still upstairs, and EG definitely trying to keep control of that top floor. They'll get some info as Dream is just gonna walk in. He finds one. They light up for him. Dream with the last 3 in the round. Oh my!
Dream was on it. That Ash play, phenomenal.
Unfortunate there.
What the lineup though. Dominoes. That's our second 7-2 in what should have been the most balanced matches. And that's how it goes, right? Mitch on Ash.
Ash has gotten a bit of a tan here, as you can tell. But yeah, that was actually like really impressive with the way that Tempo played throughout the whole game. Dream definitely with 13 kills. You'll see that he's done a lot of work. But it's just that last round, you're trying to fall off, but there's nobody watching 90. You know that you lost your flank inside of Train, and you should be expecting somebody to come in from there. However, one of the players that was supposed to deal with the Ash, should she have come through the fireplace, was just looking through there and not through 90.
Completely concentrated in one spot.
Not enough manpower to deal with all of this. The Ella was a bit far off. She dropped at the right moment, but unfortunately, it was as the Ash kind of snuck through and got the last 3.
Well,
honestly,
on the upside, at least EG now will have some time. This was the last match they have to play for a while, so they can take some time, figure things out, work with Spades, and I think they'll be looking better the second half of the season. I think Spades seemed like he was playing fine on the team. Some of the other players that just weren't able to play the way that they usually do, but also Tempo Storm played their game today. It seemed like similar with TSM. They were, well, they're only one letter different, right? The M at the end of TSM. But they were really playing their game today. They were aggressive, but they were winning gunfights, and they knew what they were doing. And I want to see more of this TSM after their first win, or TS. Sorry,
confused.
Those 2 7-2s from TSs.
There we go. Let's have a quick chat though with Tempo Storm. Good evening, Butters. It's a great set of hair, I have to say. Well done. However, great plays today against EG. Honestly, we're sitting here, we're watching it the whole time, and it was impressive to see how far you guys have come through up until this half, because with 1 point coming in, it must have weighed a very heavy weight on you. to be playing in this final playdate. But in the end, I really am curious. What did you guys change up in preparation for this game?
I don't know. We just came ready, and we always had minor mistakes coming in, and it just kept getting less and less minor. But the minor mistakes will still always cost games. So I mean, we just gotta iron it out and keep it ironed out.
Two things I want to ask you more in depth. First of all, none of you two teams went to bar, and you guys played the most on defense. Why opting for more reading dining and mining dining plus kitchen here and there?
I mean, we think it's a good site, but all the sites are just better. The other sites are just better, and you could do more with them. You can, spread out a little bit more within all the other ones. So, I mean, we wanted to go, but we kind of just stayed away because we didn't really need to, I guess.
Yeah, fair enough. In the end, you still have to play mining dining similar to how you play reading dining, right? So,
yeah.
Understandable. That's one question. The second one would be, you guys were so good, because we're talking about that reading dining defense, you guys were so good at faking cocktail, basically, staying in cocktail for just a bit, and the moment you got pressured, you dropped down and found kills from below. First of all, were all of the holes that were set ones that you destroyed yourselves in preparation as the defenders?
Yeah. We have underneath presence to help if they do push us, so we can stay up there longer. And if we do end up falling off, we could still hold those holes for when they come in. But if they take it, then we just kind of fall off and let them do whatever they want with it.
And specifically, there's one round where Elysian was doing a lot of work inside of reading. And what was prompting these sorts of runouts to go out of reading, get a kill, then fall back in, and then wait for more information? We weren't really able to see where that info was coming from. If you could shed a bit more light on that.
Just confidence and sound calls. I mean, everybody on our team kind of played with like the confidence that they should today, which we should have all the other games. But we're gonna keep doing that. Make sure we don't let people walk all over us. So.
All right. Well, it's a great way to end the half, right? With a victory and a victory over EG, nonetheless. You guys had their number the whole time. You talked about preparation. It definitely showed, and maybe your coach had at least a tiny bit of influence on this, right?
Yeah.
So. Shout out to Ken's, I guess. But anything you'd like to say at the end of this play day, because we won't be seeing you until the second half of the season, Butters.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to the fans that stuck with us, even though it looked very, very bad for a while. And I want to shout out to also Tempo Storm, the org, and everybody in chat. Say happy birthday to Rainad. He's a big help, and I don't know. Thank you for sticking with us and believing in us. And we're gonna keep. That's the first win of many. So.
All right. Very hopeful to hear that and very happy to hear it as well. Butters, congratulations again on your big victory today against EG. And hopefully we'll get to see more of you in the second half of the season after 6 Invitational. Thank you again and good night.
You good. Good night, too.